So, welcome to class, everybody. Let's get started in child's pose. And yes, I will repost the playlist to whoever's asking. Eliza, yep. All right, so immediately you have a couple of choices to make. You can spread your knees apart and drop your torso, hang heavy between your knees, or you can bring your knees together, create a little bit of a shelf for your body, keep yourself supported. That may feel good on your lower back. That's one thing that can help sort of have your lower back release. Traditionally, if your legs are spread, you want to reach your arms out long in front of you, but just don't use any muscles. So take a bend to your elbows, just get your whole forearm lying on your mat. So you're not supporting yourself. Maybe tuck your chin a little bit so you're not like smushing down on your nose. If your knees are together, maybe bring your arms back behind you by your hips, palms face up. These are just options and alternatives you have. Nothing is mandatory, nothing set in stone. Maybe try something a little different. But one thing I do request is just begin to pay attention to your breath. That's the most important tool that we use throughout class. Nothing too dramatic to begin with. We'll be taking more specific control of the breath as we move through, but just notice your breath. Notice as you inhale, your lungs expand, your rib cage expands, and as you exhale, your whole body softens. That's actually a key component of how your breath works. When you exhale, that signals your body that it's sort of safe and you can relax. If your hips aren't back on your heels, no big deal. If you need to prioritize something, bring your forehead resting on your mat. That way your head and neck relax. Another signal to your body that it can relax as well. Now begin to bring a little more conscious control to your breath. So lengthen your inhales and deepen your exhales. The whole idea behind the Vinyasa flow practice is to link breath with movements. I'll be giving lots of breath cues as we move throughout class. If you ever find as though you're inhaling greedily or exhaling desperately, it's a good indication. Come back to child's pose, take a little break, regain your strength, and come back and join us when you're ready. That's how your your breath serves as both a metronome and as a barometer. Now, as a metronome, your breath paces your guide, guides your pace of movement. So don't let me push you around. I'll be giving certain cues, but just you move at your pace, use your breath as your guide. A tradition at Yoga to the People is we use collective breaths, vibrational exhales. Lots of benefits. It relaxes your face, relaxes your central nervous system. And most importantly, it makes sure that you take a full, complete exhale in order to take a full, complete inhale to replenish your body with oxygen, which is the fuel you use throughout class. Let's try one now. Wherever you are in your breath cycle, turn it into an exhale all the way to the very bottom. Squeeze your lungs all the way empty. Give that extra little at the bottom. Take a deep, full, complete inhale through your nose. Feel your lungs and rib cage expand all the way to the very top. Sip in a little more air. Hold for 2 beats. And with an open mouth exhale, make a little sound. H-A, ha. Could be an H-M, sound. You can flutter your lips. You can sing a note like you're in a chorus. Hopefully there's nobody around you that'll get too annoyed by that. And just like child's pose, these breaths are available to you at any time, whenever it seems like a good idea. You just go ahead and take one. All right, it's yoga time. Let's have some fun. Begin to gently invite some movement into your child's pose. Maybe rock your forehead side to side, massage between your eyebrows. Maybe carry that motion down your spine and into your hips, rock your hips side to side. Just begin to wake up the body, begin to do some exploration, take some physical inventory, examine all the little nooks and crannies throughout your body. Just recognize your body's different every day and just meet it where it is today. Now, if your arms are not already there, go ahead and crawl your fingertips long toward the front of your mat. What I like to do is sort of inchworm one hand a little bit forward, stretch one side of my body, rib cage, then maybe inchworm other hand a little bit forward, continue with sort of a rocking sensation. Try a couple different things, and maybe you engage a little more, maybe tent up on your fingertips, lift your wrists and forearms off of your mat, maybe press your heart down toward your mat a little bit, begin to expand across your upper chest and collarbones and shoulders, Maybe try to stretch your mat, press your hips back toward your heels. In some engaged position, let's take a breath. Exhale into your lungs. Take a deep full inhale and open mouth exhale. Next inhale, come up to a tabletop position, all fours. Take a look at your hands. Spread your hands nice and wide as you can. Stretch the webbing between your fingers like a big starfish and really suction cup your hands down into your mat. So press as much skin into your mat as you can. Point your middle fingers toward the front of your mat and your thumbs toward each other. Set your knees directly below your hips. Take an inhale, drop your belly, lift your head, lift your tailbone, move into cat. Then as you exhale, round your spine, tuck your chin, look at your navel. This is cat. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your head. Try to touch the back of your head and your tailbone for cow. And exhale, round your spine, tuck your chin. Maybe press your hips forward for cat. Now to continue to move through a series of these on your breath. Inhale something like a cow. It doesn't really matter. Maybe you point your elbows out toward the sides of your mat and traction your hands back towards your knees. See how that engages your underside body. Exhale, press your hips forward, round your spine. Maybe take some C curve shapes. Bring a shoulder toward hip, vice versa. And just move it around. Maybe make barrel rolls with your chest. Just continue to explore. Feel your body out. See how things are feeling as we begin to move throughout class. Now, next time you come to a cat position, pause. Really exaggerate. So spread between your shoulder blades. Drop your head heavy. Now curl your toes under and lift your knees off your mat just 1 inch. So we're in cat with your knees hovering 1 inch apart above your mat. If you want to try cats and cows in this position, go right ahead. It's a little bit harder, so just go slow. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your head, lift your tailbone. Exhale, round your spine, tuck your chin, look at your navel with your knees hovering. Do that one more time if you want. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your head. Then on your exhale, send your hips up toward the ceiling, move into downward facing dog. Upside down V shape. Don't worry about the details. First thing to do is break it apart and move it around. Pedal out your feet. Maybe bend your left knee, press your right hip up, stretch the outside of your right hip, bend your right knee, press your left hip up. Stretch both sides of your body. Now this is our second home base position. Let's set up a couple of details. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Press the root of your thumb and the root of your index finger down into your mat. Maybe grip with your fingertips, just to remind yourself to use your forearm muscles to keep yourself supported so you don't load up on your wrists. About shoulder width distance, maybe a little bit wider between your hands. Take a look at your feet, hip width distance, about the size of your head in between your feet. Hide your heels behind your toes so your feet look like a number 11. Now bend your knees, press your tailbone up toward the ceiling, press your heart toward your thighs, create a long straight line up your arm through your torso and out your hips. Maybe rise up on your tippy toes, squeeze your legs a little bit straighter, and then just soften your heels down toward your mat. They may never get there, no big deal. Next inhale, send your right leg straight back behind you. Take a look at your toes, point your toes down toward your mat. Press equal weight into both hands. Then press your heart toward your thighs, squeeze your left leg straight. Next inhale, point your right toes, kick your heel up, keep your leg nice and engaged. Then exhale, bend your right knee, stack your hips, move it around. Now wake up your right side body. You want to target this a little more. Actively press into your right palm and then pull your right hip away from your right ribs. And then look under or over your left shoulder and continue to move around. Maybe swivel your hip, bend your knee, twirl your ankle. Take one more inhale, square your hips, kick your leg up high. Exhale, drop your right toes down to your mat. Next inhale, send your left leg straight back behind you. Press equal weight into both hands, press your heart toward your thighs, then squeeze your right leg straight. Inhale, point your left toes, kick your left leg up nice and high. Exhale, bend your knees, stack your hips. Open up left side body, big body yawn. If you want to press into your left hand, pull your left hip away from your left ribs, look under or over your right arm. Maybe see your toes. You can always flip your dog. Swivel your hip, bend your knee, twirl your ankle. Next inhale, square your hips, lift your leg up high. Exhale, drop your toes down to your mat. Take an inhale, look forward to the front of your mat. And as you exhale, take a nice casual tiptoe stroll. Walk yourself into forward fold at the front of your mat. Try to keep your hands on your mat, bend your knees a whole lot if you need to when you get there. And when you get there, Just release and relax. Do as little as you can. Bend your knees a little or a lot. Drape your torso over your thighs. Hang as heavy as you can. Maybe grab opposite elbows, sway side to side and ragdoll. Maybe hug your arms behind your legs, pull your belly toward your thighs. Just let your head hang heavy. Let gravity take your head and use that as sort of a weight, like a bowling ball, to extend the length of your spine. Now take a look at your feet, set them up hip width distance. If you want to measure, that's 2 soft fists firmly between your inner arches, like a capital letter H. Take a look at the sides of your feet, make them parallel with the sides of your mat. That could mean toes in and heels out a little bit. Next inhale, come up for a half lift. Now this is where we're really starting to turn it on and activate this very active pose. Rock weight forward on your toes. Bring your hands to your shins or your thighs, and maybe bring your fingers together and press your fingertips into your legs so you can pull your shoulders away from your ears and arch your upper spine. Engage your thighs. Press your tailbone up, arch your upper spine, and reach the crown of your head nice and long. Each inhale, maybe lift, extend a little longer, press your tailbone up, search for sensation along the backs of your legs, and exhale, lower just a millimeter. Inhale, extend and reach. Exhale, soften just a millimeter. Take one more inhale, press your tailbone up, and exhale, hinge forward, forward, fold. Next inhale, come up to half lift. Exhale, reach your arms forward, bring your biceps by your ears. Then as you inhale, tilt your body, rise up to extended mountain pose. Now maybe close your eyes, but bring attention to your feet. Maybe rock side to side, forward, back a little bit. See where your weight is distributed between sides of your feet, front and back. I learned a little while ago that I always carried my weight in my toes, so I always have to remind myself to rock weight back in my heels. Now activate your feet. Press down on your big toe mounds, lift up on your inner arches. Rock 2/3 of your weight back into your heels. Engage your quad muscles by pulling up on your kneecaps. Now point your tailbone down, suck your lower belly up and in, create a pelvic tilt and lock it in with your strong core muscles. Grow up nice and tall through your torso. So it's like you're trying to pull your rib cage away from your hips as you reach your fingertips toward the ceiling. Now, fingertips nice and active, straighten your elbows. Now look up at your palms, face your palms toward each other. Then tilt your pinkies toward each other and your thumbs out. You do that by wrapping your triceps toward each other so that you can broaden across your upper back, soften your shoulders away from your ears. Next, inhale, reach high, maybe a little bit of a back bend. Then as you exhale, nice and slow, completely exhale, hinge forward, forward, fold, completely drain your lungs on the way down. Let's put that to breath. Inhale, sweep your arms up, extended mountain pose, all the way up. When you get there, reach up, reach back, maybe cactus your arms, shine your heart toward the ceiling. Then when your exhale comes, hinge forward, forward, fold, completely drain your lungs. One more time like a wave. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Maybe press your palms, drive your fingertips up toward the ceiling. Maybe look toward the back of the room. Exhale, forward fold, empty lungs on the way down. Inhale up for a half lift. And exhale, hinge forward, forward, forward fold. Next inhale, bend your knees, sit your hips low, arms up, chair pose. Yeah, we're doing this. Now rock weight back into your heels. Take a look at your second toe, point your second toes perfectly straight toward the front of the room. Track your kneecaps directly above your toes, nothing bowing in and nothing bowing out. Point your tailbone down, suck your low belly up and in, wrap your lower ribs in toward each other. Broaden across your upper spine. I like to think about like I'm scooping up water and pouring it on myself. So your upper back is nice and engaged and working. Take one more inhale, sit low. Listen closely. Exhale, sit a little bit lower. Inhale, stand straight up, look up, reach back. And exhale, hinge forward, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Step your feet back to high plank position and pause. Now we're going to be here for a couple of breaths. That ever gets to be a little too unpleasant for either now or anytime during class, you can always lower your knees down to your mat as you build upper body strength. Now set up your hands like we had them in downward facing dog. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Maybe grip with your fingertips. Try to lift the heels of your hands off your mat. And then traction the heels of your hands back toward your toes. And notice how that engages your whole underside body. Stack your heels directly above your toes. And either sort of like a ramp type position, maybe lift your hips up a little bit higher. We're gonna set up our chaturanga flow. We do it in breath. Stay with me on the first one. Inhale, press yourself away from your mat, rock forward. Exhale, slowly lower, just halfway down, no lower. Inhale, upward facing dog, curl your toes under, straighten your arms. And exhale, return to downward facing dog. And there we go. Now that's our flow. We do it a whole bunch. So don't throw it away. I think of it as a good opportunity to resynchronize with your breath. So if you got to get a little lost, it's an opportunity to do that. Let's take a breath together. Exhale into your lungs. Deep full breath in through your nose. And open mouth, exhale. And we're going to put all that together into a flow. I'm going to talk you through it. One breath, one movement. Here we go. Take an inhale. Look forward to the front of your mat. Exhale, step, walk, jump, float, front of your mat. Set up your feet hip width distance. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose. Sit your hips low, reach your arms high. Stay for an exhale, sit nice and low. Inhale, stand up, and back. And exhale, hinge forward, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Step your feet back. Same exhale, slowly lower halfway down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Maybe look up, arch your upper spine. And exhale, downward facing dog. Now hollow out your armpits, wrap your triceps toward each other, and use your arms to press weight back into your feet. So share the work between your hands and feet. Next inhale, send your right leg up and back. Exhale, bring your knee to your nose, around your spine, tuck your chin, bring your shoulders over your wrists. Inhale, right leg up and back. Exhale, right knee, right elbow, look over your right shoulder, but keep your left hip lifted. Inhale, right leg up and back. Exhale, under your body, right knee, left elbow, try to make them touch, look left. Inhale, right leg up and back. Exhale, knee to nose, slowly step your right foot between your hands. If it doesn't quite get there, just help it with your right hand. And take a nice long stride front to back. Drop your left knee to your mat, uncurl your left toes. Low lunge. Now you can let your head hang heavy. Maybe have your arms do a little less work. You can even bring your hands on top of your right foot. But look for sensation in the upper front of your left thigh, your left hip flexor. So you can press your hips down and forward, gently, never forceful. And maybe press the top of your left foot into your mat. Maybe even squeeze your left leg a little straight, engage your left glute. Now bring your hands to the top of your right thigh, interlace your fingers, and press your thigh. It's like the muscle of your right leg away from you. Stack your shoulders above your hips, and maybe even a little further back. Continue to press your hips down and forward. Now, release your hands. Interlace your hands at your low back. Squeeze your palms together. Straighten your elbows. Drive your knuckles down toward your mat. Broaden across your collarbones and shine your heart toward the ceiling. Take one more inhale. Press yourself nice and low. Exhale, release. Inhale, press your arms up toward the ceiling. Interlace your fingers. Release your index finger, steeple grip. Inhale, point your fingers up, reach as high as you can, and then tilt back, draw a line across the ceiling with your fingers. Take one more inhale, and exhale, release. Bring your hands to your mat. Step your right foot back, downward facing dog. Next inhale, send your left leg up and back. Exhale, knee to nose, around your spine, tuck your chin. Inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, left knee, left tricep, look left, lift your right hip. Inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, on your body, left knee, right elbow, look right. Inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, knee to nose. Step your foot between your hands. Take a nice long stride, maybe even longer than the first side. You know what's going on. Drop your right knee to your mat, uncurl your right toes. Low lunge, sort of passive to begin with. You just kind of do some exploration. Again, targeting your hip flexor on your right side, upper front of your right thigh. Maybe gently press your hips down and forward. Maybe press some weight in the top of your right foot, shoelace side, maybe even straighten your right leg. You can even lift your knee. If you want, interlace your hands, top of your left thigh. Use your arms to push yourself away from your thigh, push your thigh a little bit more forward. Continue to search for sensation, press your hips down and forward. Stack your shoulders above your hips. Release your grip, interlace your hands at your low back. Squeeze your palms together, squeeze your elbows nice and straight. So the back of your right hand touches the inside of your right thigh. Drive your knuckles down, broaden across your collarbones, shine your heart up toward the ceiling. Maybe look up, maybe look back. Take one more inhale, press your hips down and release. Inhale, arms up overhead, press your palms, interlace your fingers, release your index finger like a Charlie's Angel. And then a little back bend. Use your arms, get a little more leverage. Shine your heart toward the ceiling. Maybe draw a line across the ceiling. Look up and back. Take one more inhale. Exhale, release. Curl your right toes under, lift your right knee. Stay your left foot back, return to downward facing dog. Let's take a breath together, exhale into your lungs. Take a deep full inhale. And open mouth, exhale. Next inhale, send your right leg up and back. Exhale, step your right foot between your hands. Keep your back heel lifted. Keep your left hand planted. Inhale, sweep your right arm up. Low lunge, revolve, twist. Now stack your left heel directly above your left toe. Squeeze your left leg straight. Now push down with your left hand as you pull up with your right fingertips. Broaden across your shoulders, upper back, and your front. Peel your torso away from your thigh. Bring your chin to your right shoulder, look up. Take one more inhale, reach high. Exhale, release your right hand, frame your right foot. Now maybe heel toe your right foot to the right a little bit. Now stack your left heel above your left toes, squeeze your left leg straight, engage your left glute. Inhale, sweep your arms forward, tilt your torso up, high lunge, crescent lunge. Now this is called crescent lunge because of the crescent shape from your back foot, up your back leg, up your torso, and out your fingertips. So it's a little bit of a backward bending. So think about pressing your thumbs toward the back of the room. It doesn't have to be too dramatic, but really focus on your left leg. So maybe think about your left leg doing twice as much work. So really press your left toes into your mat. And then drag your right heel back so your hips will square. Take one more inhale, sit low, reach high. Exhale, right hands to your mat, step your right foot back. Same exhale, lower halfway. Inhale, upward facing dog, look up. And exhale, downward facing dog. Next inhale, send your left leg up and back. Exhale, step your left foot between your hands. Keep your back heel lifted, keep your right hand planted. Inhale, sweep your left arm up, low lunge, revolve, twist. Now your right hand, right fingertips about in line with your left toes, about a handprint between your foot and your hand. Squeeze your right leg straight, lift your right hip. So everything from your navel down, twist right. Everything from your navel up, twist left. Push down with your left hand, but press up and pull up with your left fingertips. Broaden across your upper spine. Bring your chin to your left shoulder, look up if you can, peel your torso away from your thigh, and exhale, release left hand to your mat. Adjust your stance, maybe a little longer, squeeze your right leg straight, right thigh, right glute, inhale, tilt your body up without flinging into crescent lunge, left side. Press weight into your right toes, squeeze your right leg straight. Create a crescent shape, with a little bit of a back bend. Upper body back, maybe thumbs toward the back of the room. Fingers nice and active, squeeze your elbows straight, soften your shoulders away from your ears. Take one more inhale, sit low, reach high, maybe look up. Exhale, slowly, slowly, bring your hands to your mat, frame your left foot, step your left foot back, and move through a flow. Now put that together, one breath, one movement. Low lunge twist into high lunge, one time on the right side, one time on the left side, with a flow after each. Take it away. Use your breath to guide your movement. Full, complete inhales and complete empty exhales. Inhale to move and exhale to move again. So you're never really stopping, you're just pausing momentarily as your breath transitions from an inhale to an exhale or an exhale to an inhale. Maybe you close your eyes, it's okay to get wobbly. This is your opportunity to do a little bit of self-exploration, turn the focus inward. It's beautiful, Joe, nice movements. Very nice, Alice. Nice upward dog. All right, Ilaria's with us. Beautiful leg kick. When you get back to downward facing dog, keep it nice and active. Use your arms to press weight back into your feet. One adjustment I always like to make is come way up on my tippy toes, squeeze my legs straight, keep my legs engaged, and soften my heels down toward my mat. I just find that's a good way to really activate my legs. If you're moving, keep moving right where you're supposed to be. If you're in the position to take a breath, let's do it. Exhale, empty your lungs. Take a deep, full breath in through your nose. And open mouth, exhale. Next inhale, send your right leg up and back. Exhale, bring your knee to your nose around your spine, tuck your chin. Just one time. Inhale, send your right leg up and back. Exhale, slowly step your right foot between your hands. Pivot your back heel down to your mat. Press your hips down and forward. Inhale, slowly rise up. Warrior one. Now you take a look at your back foot. Back toes pointed about 45 degrees forward. Press the outside edge of your back foot into your mat. Squeeze your left leg straight and use your left glute to press your left hip forward. Now, these warrior poses are all about your back leg. It's easy to forget because your front leg is doing all the work because you're lunging into your front leg. Just think about using your back leg as much support as you can. So point your tailbone down, suck your navel up and in. Use your arms as levers. Bring your biceps by your ears. Stack your shoulders above your hips. Keep your fingers nice and active. Take one more inhale. Sit low, reach high. As you exhale, like you're slicing open the sky, open up warrior two. Right arm forward, left arm back. Now think about the choreography of your feet. So now, back edge of your left foot, parallel with the back of your mat. Maybe you walk your right foot forward, maybe a footprint or so, because you just open up that length of your hips. Think maybe heel to heel alignment or heel to arch. Now if you want to make a self-adjustment, bring your left hand to your left hip, right hand to your right thigh. Stack your torso directly above your shoulders. So it's like you're squeezing your left obliques, so it's your left ribs a little closer to your left hip. Maybe peel your left hip open, roll your right thigh open. Drive your heels into your mat, squeeze your heels together, create some buoyancy in your foundation. Reach nice and long across your fingertips. Soften your shoulders away from your ears. Take one more inhale, sit low, reach long. As you exhale, big exaggerated windmill, left arm up, over, forward, down, frame your right foot, step your right foot back and pause. Shift your weight into your left hand, roll over the outside edge of your left foot, sweep your right arm up, side plank. Now lots of options. You can stagger your feet, you can lower an elbow, lower a knee. Press your hips up toward the ceiling so you create a rainbow shape with your body. Press both hips forward. Press out of your left shoulder. Option, bring your right hand forward, palm face down. Option, lift your right leg. Take one more inhale. Exhale very slowly, bring your right hand to your mat. Continue to exhale, lower halfway down. Inhale, upward facing dog, shine your heart up. And exhale, downward facing dog. Next inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, knee to nose, just one time. Pull your thigh up into your rib cage. Inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, knee to nose, step your left foot between your hands. Pivot your back heel down. Inhale, arms up, rise up, warrior one. Now, left and right can be very different. Mobility in the hips tends to be very different on one side or the other. Now, you can always heel toe your left foot to the left, create a little more space in the width of your stance. Give yourself more room to sort of steer your hips to the left. Engage your right leg, nice and straight. Engage your right glute. Press your right hip forward, left hip back. Stack your left knee directly above your left ankle. And then bring your biceps by your ears. Tuck your tailbone down and flatten out your whole front side so your belly isn't protruding, so you don't really have an arch in your lower back. Take one more inhale. Sit low, reach high. Exhale, slice open the sky, warrior two. Now, maybe longer stride front to back. Really press the outside edge of your right foot into your mat. Squeeze your right leg straight. Want a self-adjustment, right hand, right hip, left hand, left thigh. Peel your right hip open, stack your torso directly above your hips, roll your left thigh open. Extend your arms as long as you can, as maximum distance. Maybe create stop signs with your hands. So you're pressing left hand forward, right hand back. Just point your fingers up toward the ceiling. Drive your heels into your mat, squeeze your heels toward each other. Take one more inhale, sit low, reach long. Exhale, big windmill, right arm up and over. Frame your left foot, step your left foot back, and move through a flow. When you get back to downward facing dog, keep it moving. One breath, one movement. Warrior one, warrior two. Oh, we forgot the side plank, didn't we? Yeah. Optional side plank, one time on the right side, one time on the left side, with a flow after each. So you can spend a little more time in your left side plank. Deep full inhales and complete empty exhales. Maybe close your eyes. Maybe if you never try that, just try it from time to time. At least soften your gaze. Don't worry about the details. It's all about how your body moves and how your body feels. So it's literally like a flow. Your body is moving through space, flowing through space, and feel your breath flow in and out of your body. All right, super strong, Erica. Looks great. If you're moving, keep moving. If you're in downward facing dog, keep it nice and active. Press your hips up toward the ceiling. Think about like rotating your sit bones outward a little bit. Creates a little different activation in your legs. Let's take a breath. Exhale into your lungs. Deep full breath in. And open mouth, exhale. Now walk your hands back toward your feet. Come to forward fold, the back of your mat. Bring your toes and heels together to touch. Zip up your legs. Inhale, half lift. And then exhale, forward fold. Next, inhale, do a reverse swan dive. Come up to extended mountain pose. Press your palms together, interlace your fingers, release your index finger, steeple grip. Now rock weight back into your heels, squeeze your legs straight, tailbone down, low belly up and in, grow up as tall as you can. Straighten your elbows, okay, try to squeeze your head between your biceps. Take an inhale, reach up as high as you can, then reach up a little bit higher, then a little bit higher again. As you exhale, bend your right, send your hips to the left, crescent moon. Now rock weight back into your heels. Press your left hip to the left, fan open your left side rib cage. Use your right arm, pull your left arm up and over, and keep your chin away from your chest, give yourself room to breathe. Now think about pointing backwards, shining your heart up a little bit. Take one more inhale, reach up and over, bump your hips to the left. Exhale, slowly come back to center. Get yourself readjusted, maybe shimmy your biceps back, squeeze your elbows nice and straight. Take an inhale, grow tall, then grow taller again, then a little bit taller. Exhale, bend your left, send your hips to the right, crescent moon, opposite side. Rock weight back in your heels, maybe to the outside edge of your right foot. Each inhale, use your left arm, pull your right arm up and over like you're curling your body over a barrel. Each exhale, soften along your right side, bump your hips to the right. Inhale, reach up and over, point a little bit backwards, shine your heart open. And exhale, maybe bend a little bit deeper. Take one more inhale, then exhale, come back to center. Now drop your head behind you, the cradle between your shoulders. Inhale, shine your heart toward the ceiling. Then exhale, draw your arms back toward the back of your mat or back of your room for a little bit of a back bend. Now, you don't have to go too crazy, but you can use the leverage of your arms to help pull your heart up toward the ceiling and then lean a little bit further back. Take one more inhale. Then as you exhale, nice and slow, nice and controlled, keep your spine straight, forward fold all the way down until your index fingers reach your mat. Inhale for a half lift. Then exhale, forward fold. Next, inhale, bend your knees, hit your hips low, Press your palms together for thunderbolt. Cross your thumbs so just your thumbs are engaged and overlapping. Rock weight back in your heels. Now wrap your shoulder blades around your rib cage so that you can rotate your triceps toward each other and press the outside edges of your hands together. Take an inhale, sit low, bring your hands up, bring your biceps by your ears. As you exhale, draw your hands down to heart center. Now listen closely. Inhale, tilt your upper body back, sit as low as you can. That's the secret. Exhale, twist your right, bring your left hand, left elbow to the outside of your right knee. Now look down at your feet. Rock weight in your heels, favor your left heel. It's like you're tractioning your left foot back a little bit so that your knees are in line. Press your left hip up and back, twist about your navel. Press palm into palm, elbow into thigh, use that as leverage. Peel your torso open, arch your upper spine. Bring your chin to your right shoulder. If you want, you can fly away. Take one more inhale, complete your twist, bring your chin to your shoulder, look up. Exhale slowly back to center. Inhale, upper body back. Then exhale, forward fold. Take a moment, take a breath, shake it out, shake it off. And bend your knees as much as you need to. Scoop up your heels from behind so your fingertips are scooping up under your hands like two little sand shovels. Use your arms to pull your torso down to your thighs. And then straighten your legs, press your tailbone up as you drop your head down for this assisted forward fold. Now keep your torso pressing into your thighs, and you can use all your muscle strength to kind of pull yourself a little bit deeper as you begin to straighten your legs. Now, nothing forceful, but you can search for additional sensation. Maybe try to bring your forehead to your knees or shins. Take one more inhale, then exhale, release, forward fold. Next inhale, bend your knees, hit your hips low, press your palms, thunderbolt. Wrap your triceps toward each other, press the outside edges of your hands together, straighten your elbows. Take an inhale, sit low, bring your biceps by your ears, arch your upper spine. Exhale, slowly drag your hands to heart center. Inhale, upper body back. As you exhale, sit low, then sit a little lower, twist left, right elbow outside your left thigh. Look at your feet, weight in your heels. Think about dragging your right foot back so your right knee is in line with your left. Lift your right hip up a little bit. So everything from the navel down, twist right. Everything from the navel up, twist left. Use the leverage, palm into palm, elbow into thigh. Stack your elbows in one straight line. Arch your upper spine, bring your chin to your left shoulder and look up. Fly away if you want. Take one more inhale, complete your twist. Exhale slowly back to center. Inhale, upper body back. And exhale, hinge forward, forward fold. Inhale up for a half lift. Then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Come back up to extended mountain pose. Interlace your fingers. Release your index finger, steeple grip. Take an inhale, step your right foot forward halfway into your mat. Then as you exhale, tilt your body, send your left leg back, reach your arms forward for a balancing stick. Lower your left hip, lift your left leg, lift your arms up by your ears. Each inhale, lift a little higher. Each exhale, extend. Take one more inhale, and exhale, step your left foot back, then step your right foot back. Get yourself squared away. Inhale, step your left foot forward. As you exhale, tilt your body, lift your right leg, reach your arms forward. Tilt your body down, kick your leg up, reach your arms forward, and lift up. Point your toe, flex your toe, lower your right hip. Take one more inhale. Then exhale, step your right foot back, step your left foot back. Inhale, reach nice and tall, maybe a little back bend. And exhale, hinge forward, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, place your hands on your mat, walk your hands forward, high plank position, and pause. Now lift your left leg up, lift your left toes up, so left leg behind you. Tent up on your right fingertips. Bend your left knee, pull your left thigh up into your rib cage. Roll over to the outside of the instep of your right foot. Lift your right arm. This is sort of a inside out side plank. Now, if you want, you can extend your left leg. You can always keep your left leg bent. You can lower your knee to your mat. Take one more inhale. Then exhale, come back to plank. Lift your right foot. Bend your right knee, pull your right thigh into your torso. Tent up on your left fingertips. Plant your sole of your left foot on your mat. Lift your left arm up. And if you want, extend your right leg. Now you're probably a little more balanced because you have the sole of your left foot into your mat, and that's the beauty, but it's a little bit harder. Take one more inhale. Exhale, back to plank. Continue to exhale, lower halfway down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Then exhale, downward facing dog. All right, beautiful work. Let's take a breath. Exhale into your lungs. Deep full breath in. And open mouth exhale. Here we go. Inhale, send your right leg up and back. Exhale, step your right foot between your hands. Keep your back heel lifted. Inhale, high lunge. Now set yourself up. Been here before. Use what you learned. Squeeze your left leg straight. Press your left toes into your mat. Maybe think about a little bit of a crescent shape. Take an inhale, reach your fingertips high. Exhale, twist open to your right. Wide arm twist, left arm forward, right arm back. Now, tendency to lean forward, so think about reaching back with your right fingertips so you stack your torso above your hips. If you want, you can bring your right hand to the back of your left thigh, reach your left hand up. If you're in the revolved position, come back to the wide arm twist. Now listen closely. Inhale, twist open. As you exhale in slow motion, start dropping your left hand down toward your right foot, but don't get there. Reach your right arm up. Hover your left hand above your mat. Then when you're ready, because this is hard, drop your left hand down to your mat. Low lunge revolve twist. Take one more inhale, reach your right fingertips up. And as you exhale, drop your right hand to the instep of your right foot. Drop your back heel down to your mat. Maybe walk your back foot in, maybe out to the left, setting up for ankle bind. Now, the secret to this pose is to create room under your right thigh. So walk your hands back under your shoulders. Drop your right shoulder inside your right thigh. So you're snuggling your right shoulder in your right thigh. You can even press your body up. Maybe even straighten your right leg a little bit. Then wrap your right arm outside your right foot. Grab your ankle, bring your left hand up to meet it. And drop your head heavy. So your hips are high, your head and shoulders are low. Look at your navel, continue to work your right shoulder under your right thigh. You can use your arm strength to help pull you under. Take one more inhale. Exhale, release. Step your right foot back and move through a flow. Back and downward facing dog. Take a moment, take a breath. Maybe shake out your legs a little bit. Return to stillness. Let's take a breath. Exhale into your lungs. Take a deep full breath in. And exhale, HA. Next inhale, send your left leg up and back. Exhale, step your foot between your hands. Keep your back heel lifted. Maybe a little bit of a longer stride. Inhale, slowly rise up, crescent lunge. Get it all sorted out, nice and stable. Think about tractioning your left heel back. Good, nice strong structure. Inhale, sit low, reach high. Exhale, peel open, right arm forward, left arm back. Now reach your left fingertips back, square your shoulders off to the left side. If you want the variation, left hand back to your right thigh, right hand up toward the ceiling. You're in the variation, come back to the twist. Take an inhale. As you exhale, super slow motion, start to drop your right hand down. Hover your hand above your mat, reach your left arm up, maybe look up. And when you're ready, go ahead and drop your right hand down to your mat. So now push away with your left hand, pull up with your right hand, pull up with your left fingertips. Take one more inhale, peel open. Exhale, bring your left hand to the instep of your left foot and adjust your feet, back heel down to your mat, maybe foot a little closer off to the right. Set up for ankle bind. Again, it's all about the space under your left thigh. So snuggle your left shoulder inside your left thigh, drop your head and shoulders low, and send your hips a little higher. You walk your hands back under your shoulders, actually press yourself up, create more space. Then bring your left hand outside, left thigh, grab onto your left ankle, bring your right hand up to meet it. And again, you can muscle into this. Drop your head heavy. Round your spine like a cat, look at your navel. Keep working left shoulder, under your left thigh. Eventually your head gets there as well. Take one more inhale. Exhale, release, plant your hands, step your left foot back, and move through a flow. All right, beautiful work, everybody. Good news, get to slow it down a little bit. Let's take a breath first. Exhale into your lungs. Take a deep, full breath in. And open mouth, exhale. Next inhale, send your right leg up and back. As you exhale, step your right foot outside your right hand. We're setting up for lizard. Now, nice long stride. Maybe send your left toes a little further back. Rock forward and back a couple of times. When you're ready, drop your left knee to your mat, uncurl your left toes. And you can stay here, just begin to work things out. So you can press your hips down and forward. Again, we're targeting front of your left upper thigh, left hip flexor. If this all feels good, you can go ahead and bring one elbow to your mat, then the other. Drop your torso nice and low. Now, if your right knee moves outward, just have your right toes pointing in the same direction. You're not twisting your knee or your hip too much. If you want to go a little deeper, you can actually even drop your right knee outward and roll over the outside edge of your right foot. You'll maybe isolate the outer right hip a little bit more. Again, nothing forceful. You have a lot of leverage in your legs. You don't want to overdo it in your hips. These poses take a long time to develop if you're not naturally flexible. Now, maintain control of your breath. Lengthen your inhales, but most importantly, lengthen your exhales. Your exhales help you relax. Now, whatever variation you're in, go ahead and come back up onto your hands. Now, straighten your right leg. This is half split. Bring your torso up over your hips. So straighten your right leg, torso up over your hips, and you can do anything with your hands. It can be sort of tented up on fingertips, but keep your spine straight. Squeeze your right leg straight, flex your toes toward your face, and then lower your torso toward your right thigh. You can flex your toes, you can point your toes. Maybe you press your heel into your mat and pull your heel back toward you. Just notice how that engages all different things. Inhale to activate a little bit, and exhale to soften. From here, you can always go into an over lunge. If you're working, on your to-do list is to work toward a split, you go into an over lunge. You can even start working toward a split. Then come back up, come back into the position we're in for lizard. We're going to move into half pigeon. Now, heel toe your right foot across your mat and drop your right shin across your mat. Now, coming into it this way may mean that your right shin is more parallel. Now, that is not a goal, but this may give you another way to sort of deepen yourself into the pose. So if it's too much, you can bring your left heel back toward your left hip a little bit. Now, I like to come up onto my hands, press my left hip down, again, targeting front of your left hip. Maybe press the outside of your top of your left foot into your mat. Then when you're ready, come down to your elbows. Maybe pause here, press your left hip down and forward. Once that's all worked out and it works with your body, continue to descend down into half pigeon. Now, if you can, support your head on something. Your mat, stacked hands, fists, forearms. Maybe you have some implements around your house or your apartments, pillow, block, slippers, anything like that. Now, if you get into half pigeon, you don't feel much, a couple things you can do. You can look to your right. You can then walk your hands off to the right as you press your left hip down. Again, nothing forceful. These are just other ways to explore. all the different aspects of your body. And maintain control of your breath. So lengthen your inhales, but most importantly, think about your exhales and your body softening upon your exhales. Just take a breath together, exhale, empty your lungs. Take a smooth breath in through your nose and exhale, HM. Begin to plan your transition. Bring your hands on your shoulders, lift your upper body up. Curl your left toes under, lift your left knee. Send your right leg up and back. Maybe three-legged dog, move it around. If you'd like, you can take a flow, but however you'd like to get there, let's regroup in downward facing dog. Set up for your left side. When you're ready, inhale, send your left leg up and back. Exhale, step your left foot outside your left hand. Set up for lizard. Now, nice long stride. Maybe work your right toes a little further back if you know what's going on. Rock forward and back a couple times. And on a back swing, drop your right knee and curl your right toes. You can stay here for a moment or two. Maybe press the top of your right foot into your mat and target right front hip flexor. When you're ready, continue to move down. Maybe bring your elbows to your mat. Lots of variations. You can even crawl your arms a little forward if you're super bendy. Maybe roll on the outside edge of your left foot. Let your left knee drop open. Be very careful. Just an opportunity to explore your body, search for sensation. Now I inhale. Now I exhale. Go back up onto your hands. Half split, so straighten your left leg. Walk your hands back toward your hips. You can reach your fingertips. You can kind of walk your fingertips forward, sort of like a superhero coming in for a landing. Drive your left heel gently into your mat. Pull your left heel toward you. And inhale. It's more like you're arching your upper spine to activate. You probably feel that all the way down to your heel. And exhale, soften your belly toward your thighs. You can make it a little more passive. You can kind of just drape your body over your left leg. Or you can make it a little more dynamic. Each inhale, sort of activate and extend. Each exhale, soften. Now, engaging your quad muscles, that actually encourages your hamstrings to release and relax because your body thinks you have control. In other words, it's not like this abrupt move and your body's just reflexively protecting from injury. If you want, you can move into an over lunge, bend your left knee, send your left foot a little further away from you, setting up for a split. If you want, you can begin to straighten your left leg if you're working towards splits. Hold your torso forward if that seems interesting. I'll come back to that sort of lizard setup for half pigeon. Heel toe, your left foot across your mat. Drop your left shin down across your mat. And again, if this is too much, just adjust yourself so you're not over forcing anything. Maybe look at your right foot, kind of put that into the middle of your mat, walk it forward. Maybe walk your hands back, press your hips down and forward. Create some space. The reason we're doing this so you have space between your thighs so that your hips have room to find, down toward your mat. So you kind of get your legs out of the way. Now when you're ready, lower down. If you're not already there, maybe press your right hip down and forward. And continue folding forward. Again, if you can, support your head on something. Reason for that is when your head and neck relax, it's a signal to your body that it can relax as well. Maintain conscious control of your breath. We've had a few moments to slow down, but this is still a pose to try to stay involved. And really think about the sensation of softening as you exhale. Inhale to inflate and expand a little bit. Search your body for places of muscular activation or effort. And exhale, soften. Now just thinking about it counts. This is a tricky thing to sort of override these natural reflexes and instincts of your body. So it's always a learning process. I've been doing this pose for years and I always find little different ways to explore things. But focusing on your exhales, that's when your body has the opportunity to soften. And it takes many breaths. That's why we hang out in this pose for a good bit of time, because it takes a whole bunch of breaths for your body to be convinced that you're in a safe place. Let's take a breath together. Gently exhale into your lungs. Take a smooth breath in through your nose. And exhale, HM. Begin to transition out. Bring your hands on your shoulders. Lift your upper body up. Curl your right toes under. Lift your right knee. Send your left leg up and back. Maybe move it around in three-legged dog. But if I should take a final flow of class, so maybe take it at a very different pace. So maybe slowly lower into your low plank. Maybe hover here for a breath or two. When you come into upward facing dog, maybe stay here for a couple of breaths. Maybe really shine your heart up and look up. Roll your shoulders down and back and broaden across your collarbones. And then we'll meet in downward facing dog also for the final time. Drop your knees to your mat. Cross your ankles. Roll over, send your legs out long in front of you, set up for a seated forward fold. Move the fleshy bits from your sit bones. Flex your toes toward your face. Engage your thighs, maybe lift your heels off your mat. Bring your hands by your hips. Press yourself up so you're sitting nice and tall. Inhale, reach your fingertips up toward the ceiling. Then as you exhale, slowly hinge forward, look at your toes, and then reach forward like I'm pulling you if I was standing in front of your mat. And eventually your hands are going to land somewhere. Maybe your shins, maybe your toes, maybe who knows where, ankles outside of your feet, even heels, and if you're super bendy. I like to make this dynamic as well. So each inhale, think about arching your upper spine, press your tailbone back, search for sensation along your hamstrings. Then exhale, maybe use your arms, pull yourself a little more forward and a little bit deeper. Inhale, shine your heart toward your toes. And exhale, soften. Take one more inhale. And then exhale. Come back up to seated forward fold. Bend your knees. Scoot your hips forward. Plant your soles of your feet on your mat. Reach your arms out long in front of you. Face your palms toward each other. And then as slow as you can, keep your hand, keep the soles of your feet on your mat. And then roll down one vertebra at a time. Really take your time. Maybe kind of wiggle on your way down. And just see if you can feel just segment by segment as you lower your body down. This is final ab work. But you're also just kind of looking how you can control your body as you roll yourself down. Feel a little portion of your spine touch down. And then rest of your spine touch down as well. Squeeze your knees up into your chest. Give yourself a nice hug. Squeeze yourself into a tight little yoga ball. Happy baby, grab the outside edges of your feet. This is an active pose. Bring your knees wider than your chest. Pull down with your arm strength. Go ahead and straighten one leg, straighten the other. Let's take a lion's breath to wrap things up. Exhale into your lungs. Take an inhale, scrunch up your face. And exhale, stick out your tongue. Release your legs long, move into final resting pose, Savasana. Let your mat do all the work. Let your body feel nice and heavy. And really take some moments to relish in the state that you've created for yourself. Release conscious control over your breath. Soften your jaw, soften your tongue. Let your eyeballs feel heavy. You can stay here as long as you'd like. I have a couple of announcements. If you want to leave an ear open. Thank you for attending. Thank you for joining. Thank you for remotely moving together and breathing together. And whether you realize it or not, I know I feel it. Even in this format, we can support and encourage each other just by showing up. I know it's difficult times for a lot of people, so it's important to take some time for yourself to move and breathe and feel. You're probably aware we are a donation-based studio. We have, I will put a link to the website donation page on our website. It's yogatothepeople.com/donate. We also have a Venmo, which is @yogatothepeople. I'll put all this info in the chat box if you're interested.